Trying this again. Pardon me, I gotta make sure it's going live. I just tried it and it was like lost in space. There we are. There we are. Okay. I'm not sure why it didn't even give any warning, like a little frozen wheel or anything. There's Miss Kim and Dawn. Let's wait a little bit for, I know there's Leah, was it Maureen and Deborah? We'll see if they'll pop back in. But look at this. Look at how well it's doing. Thank you, Dawn. Hello again, Crystal. Okay, just a couple more seconds while we're waiting. I'm gonna clean up this. I'm gonna just set this aside. Get this little water puddle picked up. Okay, we're gonna set that right there. We're gonna clean this. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know. Lately, it's like wanting to kick me when I'm over here on Crescent Creation, but I don't have that problem on mine. Well, I do. I do have that problem on mine. Just not as, well, I don't know. It could be. Kim in Alaska. So, the stuff that I used today was a, this one is called Pigment Sprinkles, and it's by Stampin' Up. But they also have Color Burst is another name, another brand. Watercolor pigment powders. They have a lot of words and descriptions, but yeah, it's basically watercolor concentrate, and is very concentrate. As you can see, my mat here, it's kind of wild. But since we have some color on it, we're going to do a cleanup as we wait for Miss Deborah to pop back in. Hopefully I didn't lose her. Okay, okay, there you are. I know. Don't mind me. So I'm just going to pull another piece of watercolor. Yeah, Color Burst is very common amongst the crafty community. Just use that to clean up any, ooh, look at that one. Ooh, that's going to be a good one too. Except for that little piece of hair there. To the garbage with you. Look at that. Oh, we're going to stamp that one too, I think. That one's going to be really pretty. There's Miss Deborah. We just lost Miss Maureen, I think. Okay. Oh, love that. So you could, that's the other thing you could do, is you could sprinkle your powders on your work surface, get that wet, and then pick it up, and you'll have, oh, there she is. We'll have a little bit more control that way. But look at that. This is a cleanup. Okay, very different than popping the powders right to the paper versus putting the powders on a work surface and picking it up. So there's lots of ways to use it. You saw me dump it in the lid, very little, and then flick it out, and we got this beautiful. This is the last one, you guys. This is the one it got cut out on, but look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? All that, it totally just reminds me of lights and goodness. And then if you're heavy-handed, it looks like you murdered your paper. But that's okay. Oh, our poor paper. This one would be good with some roses or something. Some bright flowers, poppies. If you have some poppies, you could stamp on there. If you're good at drawing poppies, you could probably trace some of these into poppies. You know what? That's a good idea. I might have to think about making some poppies. But yeah, so we're done this. So we're just going to clean up our hot mess here. And you know, you guys' work surfaces, they get stained. You know, it's really no big deal. It just shows that you worked with it and you had fun. Red is a big stainer. Pure pigments, you know, you're gonna have that because there's no bondings over it to keep it from staining. Yes, Maureen, exactly. Deborah, ooh, yeah, Valentine's too. Halloween and Valentine's. Ugh, what? You guys, my pens is falling down. They like shook right out of their space. Oh, gotta give my magnets back. So I put this little guy away. Away with you, away. Away, away, away. Ugh, I love this one. And this one was a cleanup. But we're gonna check them all. That one's got a little wet spot there. This one is very soggy. We didn't hit that one with the dryer very much. So let me hit that one with the dryer a little bit. Oh, just love that. Nice pastel-y. This house, this Christmas village is going to look very pretty on that. This is the Simon & Hurley Christmas Village. It's one of his peel apart sets, which is available at Crescent Creation. I think it's on sale right now. So if you go and the price is slashed and there's another price next to it, it's on sale. But if it's not on sale, for the rest of the month, you can use code Elizabeth Creates to save 10% on regular priced items. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Just dry that up. And I got the paper too wet. That's why certain watercolor papers, you know, this is not a high end, so it absorbs the water funky on the edges. Okay, and it basically just got between the layers, because paper is in layers sometimes with the little fibers. You know, you got to connect all the fibers to get it going, and so the water just crept up on there. To avoid this, make sure you keep your edges dry, and you know, if it's starting to flood, you could dab it up, or you could mask it off. There's masking fluid, masking tape. Mask off the area to keep the water away from your edges. But if you know you're chopping it down, that doesn't matter. Okay, look at that. And when it buckles, okay, your paper's like, oh, it rolled or curled. I call it buckling. When the paper buckles, you just heat it from both sides. Okay, make sure it gets dry. Okay, and then paper's really fun. You pile some books, pile some wood, pile some bricks on it, whatever you have, and leave it, especially overnight. When you come back, you'll have a freshly pressed piece of paper. This one is a little, it's a little cold, but I don't know if it's cold because it's cold in here or cold damp. Thanks, Crystal. Yep, Kim in Alaska says sit on it. The heat and pressure does wonders to flatten it out. But make sure when you're sitting on it, it's not your chair, because then you could cause a bum crease. That would be me. I would make funny little creases in there. Ugh, I think this is gonna make the best house stamp. And then this one's going to be our second best, I think. But I'm just going to avoid that. That's soaking wet right there. My bad. But the rest of it, yeah, feels good. Alright, so let's get to stamping. I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire, which I just re-inked the other day. I got to re-ink everything in here, okay? It's a hot, hot mess. It's a hot, hot mess. Okay. Put that over there. Okay, so I've got my Tim Holtz Tonic 1. It's a bigger platform, so it's going to hold this. I've got it set to the rubber side. So I'm just going to peel this back. Make sure all of my pieces are where they should be. Okay, because his peel aparts, you know, you peel them out. Use them. I love that about that. Okay, we're going to grab that. Pick that up with our platform, and then we're going to plop this down, and I am going to magnetize it because I don't want it curling up when I'm trying to place it down. I just need to watch. Oops. Ah! That's what I'm talking about. Make sure those magnets, I can actually scooch that even further in. There we go. It's going to be a good spot for that. Magnets are all sticking together. If you've got your magnets, make sure nobody's touching. The Tim Holtz has that ledge that's here and here, so I got to make sure nothing is touching there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Ah, thanks, Debbie J. Yeah, I'm my little Samsung watch. It's my first smartwatch. Sucker's pretty smart. It says it's time to get moving and put some little feetsies there. It's like, oh, it's like you can't sit all day. So I'm gonna try and do as it says. When it says, hey, it's time to get up, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of walk around the house, get some steps in. Last night, it's like, you only did 72 steps. I'm like, yeah, because I was sitting at my desk forever. Sitting at the desk, having fun. I wish that counted towards your health, right? I just wish. Okay. And stamp. Kim in Alaska says, I ordered a watch. I haven't worn a watch in like 15 years. You know, I haven't either. I love watches. I have a whole drawer of watches. But I have large wrists, but not large enough to really fill a man's watch. And so they're loose, so I can't scrapbook with them on. And I was really nervous about this one. Well, I'm still nervous because it's rubbery. And in the past, rubbery things get like a weird buildup and sweaty and gross. Sorry. TMI, I know. But, you know, it's... So, but they have a bazillion things you can replace, even with real leather or metal on Amazon. So, in a couple of paydays, I'm going to get a new wristy thingy. Look, you guys, look at it. Oh my goodness. And now you know what this reminds me of. You drive by those houses with the projection lights. These guys just have their projection lights on. That's what that is. They've got their projection lights on. They're having a grand time in their neighborhood. Oh my goodness. But this method, right? You grab a pile of papers. Even if you don't have watercolor papers, you've seen me do cleanup with the Accent Opaque. Just sprinkle the things around, get them wet, move it around, and then pick it up, okay? That way there you're not soaking your paper too much. And do some cleanups and get that color on all your papers. Let them dry. Let them have a good dry. Then come back and stamp, stamp, stamp. And you're going to bust out Christmas cards, holiday cards, thank you cards, birthday cards. Oh, you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? This stamp here, if you're a neighborhood person and you like your neighbors and you get some new neighbors, this would be a good one to say, welcome to the neighborhood. That one. Okay. So this little house right here, this little chimney's not stamping. And that's because when I put it away, it got shoved in. So I just reached in there and pulled that up a little bit. So now, when I go to stamp that, look at that. We now have a chimney. Oh, I do want to do this one more time just to make sure it's beautimous. And you can do this in variations too, right? You could stamp and emboss and then do the watercoloring. That's going to give you a whole different look. Oh my gosh. See, Kim in Alaska says, love most of my neighbors. They are so nice. And this would be a good thank you for being my neighbor. You know, just if you just want to show random acts of appreciation, you know, tuck them in their mailbox. And it could be a surprise. They'll not know who sent it unless you address it, of course. But how fun! Oh, I'm not gonna clean that. I'm not gonna clean that because we're moving on to the next one. Ugh! Look at that! Look at that! Ah! And then we're just gonna trim that down and make a card with that, or frame it. What I'm doing with my other one. I gotta frame that. This is the one. This is the one I think is going to be really, really good. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get those magnets on there. Make sure it stays put while we do our stamping. Oops, down a little maybe. Just checking all my magnets before I commit, because I didn't clean it. There we go. Ramona, hello. She says, reminds me of those Orbeez, how they are small blobs of color. Yes. The first year of pandemic, I made card batches for many of my neighbors. Oh, that's so sweet. My mother-in-law gave me her old one last year. The Brazilian bands to go. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. And bazillion bands to go with it. That's awesome. My band broke once when I was on vacation and I just never replaced it. Yeah. Wristbands, you know, are expensive. However, this smartwatch was uber flipping expensive. But I got it for free-ish. It's $10 a month. You know, And that's the service to allow it to work without my cell phone. So I can accidentally leave my cell phone at home and still get phone calls and texts and all that jazz. Thank you, thank you. Whew. That one really got me. Look at how fabulous that is. Even not a great stamping the first time, and no matter how hard you try, when you're stamping on watercolor paper, you're gonna need to stamp it multiple times if you want that nice, crisp, beautiful lines, okay? It's not like stamping on white card, smooth, beautiful cardstock. You gotta really get in there and you gotta get those lines pushed in. Because even though we're using the back side, it's still got a tooth. It's still gonna cause some issues. Like right there and there. And got more line on that one, so that's good. Ink this one more time and I think that one will be done. Ugh. Got a bit of a headache today. I might have to take a Benadryl. Something's bugging me. And go for those trouble areas. You know, you'll see them. All your stamps are going to have those trouble areas. Just when you restamp, just give extra love to those areas. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just these pink little Christmas houses? Ugh. So pretty. Ooh, but you know, let me put these magnets up so I don't lose them or they smash into each other. I went to the hobby store and got some magnets and then just wrapped them in some tapes so that I could pick them up. Because, you know, they come with little button magnet. Not this one. I don't think this one comes with magnets, but you get those little button magnets and they're just not enough, and so you need more. I just went to the hobby store and got more for mine. And then we just clean our stamps. I just use water. I'm sure you've all heard that you gotta condition your stamps. Well, if you're using them all the time, the ink is kind of conditioning them. You know, there's chemicals in there, and you know, they're not sitting there getting dried out if you're using them. I've had stamp cleaner before, long ago, but I haven't in the last 3 years, and all my stamps, even my older ones, still kicking, still making good cards. Oops. Okay, so now I need my plastic for a little stamperoonie. Get that on there and see that. If you just need a house, you guys, for your little fairies or your little gnomes, you know, your little pets, little penguin, whatever you got, you've got a couple of different homes you can make them with this set. They go right back together right nicely. Okay, if you have issue with them popping up and not going down, you kind of bend and it grabs it. They want to go home. Okay, I love the peel parts. It's like a twofer deal. I love that. Okay, so we've got our 2 cards, or our 2 doodads, and so you can use your, it's right here, please Please hold. Is this the one? That's the skinny one. Oh, that's the big one. Okay, so if I want, is that the second one? Yeah, that is the second one down. So if I use this one, see right up to the edge, look at that. And if I get that right on the edge, okay, if I do this just right there, that's going to give me all of that. And then I'll have a couple of houses I can trim out later. So that's kind of fun. Or if you want those houses and save those houses, because then you get that tree right there, I think I'll do that. And then I'm gonna go, I gotta go in, because that little tree right there. So I'm just gonna tape this in place. Just like so. Tape that in place. Nope. Come on. My paper's too big. My paper's too big. So we're gonna go in full force. That's okay though. Because I have the bigger spellbinders. Make sure that's all straight. Leah, that's okay. That happens. Okay. We're just die cutting our watercolor paper that we made our little house on. Okay. And so we've got this nice chunk where we've got a couple of trees left, a couple of houses left. So you can make another card, and then we have this beautiful stitch die right there. And then we could put it on, do we want it on gold, or you know what, you guys? It might be uber pretty. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That black just makes that pink pop a little bit. Oh, how pretty is that? That's so gorgeous. And, you know, your specialty papers, you know, this black is pretty, pretty spendy black, right? So, just center a small die, something that'll still allow your card to sit over, right? So you get your stacking dies, and you get one to gut the middle of it, just like so. Oops, no, that's a little crooked. We don't want too crooked. A little crooked is okay, but too crooked, we can't have this. This is the high gloss black from Crescent Creation, and it is high gloss, you guys. It's shiny, shiny, shiny. Sorry, I didn't even think about that, but I should have kept this out. I can't wait to get a new house. The die cutter, this guy's gonna have his own home. Make sure I've got pretty even going on. You're not being very supportive here. Stay. Stinking. Yeah. There we go. So we've got this nice chunk that we can cut silhouettes out of, or we could even do extra stacking and put something smaller on top of there. So gut your papers, especially your specialty papers. We want to get them to go as far as possible. And then you can place, oh, look at that. Just place that right on top, and you're going to have a fabulous card. However, you guys, I am so far behind on stuff. It's not really funny, but it's funny, you know. Funny, but not funny. Let's cut a card base. I got Chop here, looking at my other decal trimmer, thinking, what do I want to call you? I'm still thinking. I like the Crunch. 5.5. Ugh. And then Score. Ugh. Score at 4.25. 3, 4.25. Flip, shmeesh, hold, and press. And then if you want your card to sit flatter, okay, put it on your table, put your tool on the table, and press. And it's kind of pushing everything forward. And look at that. That thing is closed. All right, let's assemble our cutie crinkle cut crisps, chips, crinkle cut decal trimmer, Mr. Crinkle Cut. Mr. Crinkle. Almost like Mr. Kringle. Glue. I'm like lost. I'm like, what am I doing? I need glue. We need to glue this down, my friends. There we go. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Nice high gloss black. Yeah, gotta laugh or you'll cry, right? And then laughing releases all the good hormones, which is actually good for you. So you need to follow yourself some funny people. I like to follow people that scare people and make other people scream. It's terrible, I know. But there's something about a screaming adult, especially a man, that just kills me. I was just thinking about it. It just kills me. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. More pressure. More pressure. That watercolor paint. I probably should have used a little bit of double stick tape too, because that watercolor paper is pretty stubborn, and it's not wanting to glue down. Where is my other? Right there. Get my thin glue here. And then that will be it. Even with a glitch in the matrix, we still managed to basically make one full card. Gosh darn it. I spoke too soon. That's what I did. I spoke way too soon. Okay, we made one card. We've got enough to do a couple more cards. Okay, because we could trim those bits out that are left over, or make a slim line, like just trim it where it is cut off and make yourself a cute little slimline card. And you could cut them out individually if you want. Pop them up. So fun, so fun. Look at how pretty. You know, this could use some bling. We got 4 minutes. Let's put some bling on it. That one. And those are the roly-polies. Oh, no, that has some white. Okay. These are the Crescent Creation. There's those. Oh, this one's got little blue and what's his faces on it. We'll use that one. Ramona, I will let the kids know and they'll check for me. Look, so this tree, when I stamped it, it didn't get a full topper. Boo-boos, okay, boo-boos are just opportunities for embellishments. That's all they are. If you make a boo-boo, put an embellishment on it. I mean, look at that. Ooh, no, we need a purple star. No, we need a blue star, I think. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's what it needs. It needs a little blue star. And my glue dries clear. I always add too much. So we just put it on there. Look at that. Let's put another one on the top of this one. You buy these lovely mixes and you can, you know, dress them up. I need one more. 1, 2. Let's do this one. We got 3 blue stars. Doot-doot. Come on, come on. Stay put. There we go. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And then we'll just use a couple of these. Oh, look at that. And then we can add a little bit of bling to that. And we did that in 2 minutes. Wee-hoo-hoo. Ha ha ha. Clean up. It's going to take me so much longer though. But there we have it, my friends. What do you think about that Simon Hurley Christmas Village? Definitely, it could just be a winter village too, because I think that there's only a couple of houses that actually have wreaths on them. So if you were doing like Halloween or Valentine's, you could switch this up. And then anywhere you found a wreath, you could cover it with an embellishment that matches your holiday. Maybe a bat for Halloween, and then do oranges and purples and, you know, really change this up to be any holiday that you like. Miss Bethany, she says it's stinking cute. Fabulous. Maureen says it's perfect. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay. So yes, isn't that lovely? I love it. Oh, that's my time. It dinged me. It's 4 o'clock. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will be back again here next Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here doing some Crescent creations. Thanks a bunch, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Just throw things around.